It's very important what you said, that they need to take care with the humidity, because some small customers, they have only one chamber and they put inside of this chamber cars with ready salami close to be ready, and others just apply the mold. And then we can see, like at this example, that probably is too much humidity inside. And then we can start with these small spots that can grow over to the Penicillium. What you can say about this example?
So this, and you have the same, this and this works. It is some spoilers that grew on the surface because the Penicillium were dying, for example, and because of high humidity on the surface. So for this, you can manage, for example, the number of salami. If they are very stuck together, the airflow cannot go and dry the surface. And here you are the opposite. Here it's too dry for the Penicillium to grow. So you have a big airflow on the top and a low airflow there. So it's really important to manage humidity by regulating that. And one way is to have an airflow. And if you can have, for example, if you have a good airflow and the temperature during the drying and the growth of the Penicillium is under 20 degrees, it's 14 degrees, for example, you can have 80% of relative humidity. If you have over 20 degrees, you need high-speed airflow, and you need to decrease the relative humidity to 75, for example. And you will have a good coverage of the Penicillium and avoid the contamination. If you have only one cabinet per one chambers, perhaps you can separate just with some walls that you can move to cut the airflow for the young salami, to avoid them to dry too fast for the germination, and after you put them in the parts with high airflow.
So it's very, very important to take care with the humidity, the airflow, and the temperature.
And to avoid that contamination, because you have contamination everywhere, you have to have the cleanest atmosphere in the room. So you have to avoid to have some water anywhere.
Very important. You need to repeat to don't have water everywhere.
Yes, so no water on the floor. And you have to dry. It should be dry in the environment. And perhaps the best way to avoid that and to figure out to avoid contamination between old product and new product, and to have a separate room or just an incubator during the fermentation, so the acidification of the salami, and during the germination of the Penicillium. So after 2 or 3 days, you can put them with the other, and the mycelium will be already there to protect the surface. And you will avoid to have some spores. Here you have a lot of spores that are yellow, that can come from the old salami and go to the young one. And so you avoid that contamination, and the Penicillium can win the race against that spoilers, because it has 2 or 3 days before them it starts to germinate.
Clear.
And I think what you were mentioning, Julien, about the rotation of the salami, I think that's important too, because ventilation is very important, but sometimes we don't have perfect ventilation. We know that it's very difficult to have the exact right ventilation for all the salamis. So then it's important to be able to rotate the salamis.
Because here in Brazil, they separate all the batches in different cars, so circulate the cars inside of the chamber to give the same environment to all.
And another way to help the Penicillium to win against spoilers is to have the good dosage. So perhaps the customer could increase the dosage to have a faster covering and avoid the spoilers to grow.
So important also for our discussion here is to show to the customers that the chamber is like a baby environment. So you should not get into with dirty clothes or the clothes from outside. You should not storage nothing because can bring through the chamber wild spores or spoilage that will contaminate the surface. No?
Exactly. So when you have this kind of issue with spoilers, you should clean the room. You have to empty the room to clean completely the room and make a disinfection of the room to kill the spore of spoilers. And before having new product into that, you have to dry. The floors, the walls, the ceilings, everything should be really dry. And a good thing is to inoculate the environment with spores of Penicillium.
Good.
To have this everywhere.
Clear.
And when we clean the chamber, it's also important to look at the airflow, change the filters, clean and sanitize all the air ducts. So not just the chamber, but everything that brings the air, that recycle the air as well. Yeah.
Clear. Like you take care about your baby.
Yes.
Good.